So Simon Hewitt, I'm 42 years old, originally from Burnley in Lancashire. I'm here on business and I love paddle. So I played squash all my life and badminton, and I started playing paddle 6 months ago only. Obviously the trend started now and everyone's starting to play paddle. So I transitioned from squash and now I enjoy paddle. I just think it's a fun game. So I think racket sports as a whole are very difficult. So tennis is a very difficult game to play on your own or in a pair, badminton the same. I think paddle's a little bit more social, a little bit easier to pick up. So I think because of those two factors, a lot of people are getting involved with it. So if you think about, again, tennis, squash and badminton, they're very technical sports, very difficult to master. With paddle, it's a little bit easier. Obviously the bat's a little bit harder, the ball's a little bit harder as well. So it's a lot easier and more forgiving for beginners to take up a racket sport. And those that have played racket sports, it's obviously a fun one as well to take on. So it's very social. Obviously the Playtomic app, which is global. So it's an app that obviously you can play globally. So you log on, free to play, and you find paddle courts anywhere in the world. Wherever you are, you can search and there's paddle courts that come up. So last week I played in Girona in Spain. I live in Abu Dhabi, so I played there before I flew, and I played here in Manchester this morning after I arrived last night. That's how easy, quick and accessible paddle is for everybody. So it gives you a rating as well, so the more you play, if you beat players of a similar level, your rating goes up a little bit. If you beat players who are better than you, your rating goes up higher. And then the adverse effect, if you lose to players better, your rating goes down a little bit. If you lose to players worse than you, then your rating goes down a lot. So also when you log on to this Playtomic app, it gives you access to play against players of a similar level, or you can pick friendly games or competitive games as well. So again, when you think about access, easy as you want, wherever you want in the world. Yeah, I mean for sure it'll be the most popular racket sport in the world within the next 2 years. More so than tennis, more so than squash. I mean tennis is winning now. Badminton and squash are a little bit less played, but I guarantee paddle will take over racket sports globally. Because of the Playtomic app, because of how popular it is now, because of how easy it is for new people to get involved. I think when you play paddle for the first time, it's okay, you can have a game. When you play tennis for the first time, it's sometimes impossible for beginners to play. It's such a hard sport. So again, when you think about the ease of playing and the ease access of getting into paddle, they're the two reasons. So paddle originally is an indoor sport. I don't know whether you're aware of that, but it's an indoor sport. So actually in hot cultures it doesn't matter because it's indoors anyway. But to play paddle outside, I mean I live in a hot country in the UAE and it's a beautiful game to play outside, but it's also an interesting game inside when it's too hot or when the weather is obviously wet. It's a difficult game in the rain because the glass is wet, the ball is wet, and obviously doesn't really conduce itself to that climate. So actually when you think about it, paddle is easier when it's a dry sport, not necessarily a hot sport.